Just let it disappear. You could spend it on worthless things. You could just impulse buying. Buy anything that you see and buy it as quickly as you possibly can so that you can get your money spent before it disappears. That's another possibility. The third option, of course, is to say, in light of the fact that I'm given this much money, I can't keep it until tomorrow, I'm going to budget it and I'm going to use it for items that are most important, and I'm going to spend it very wisely. I'm sure you've already guessed, but every one of us is given 1,440 minutes every single day. And yet we cannot keep these minutes. We can't put them together and hold on to them, because at the end of the day, those minutes are gone forever, and not even God, who can do all things, has promised to ever resurrect them for us. There is nothing that you can possibly do to repeat yesterday. If you did not spend time in prayer this morning before you came to church, you will never have another opportunity to do so on this particular day. It is gone. Now, there are some people who are very disorganized in life. They are lazy, disorganized. I won't discuss them because clearly none of them are present this morning. There are others who are frantically disorganized. They're doing all kinds of things, but they are not necessarily always doing the right and the most helpful things. Thank you for that emphasis over there. One morning, a farmer told his wife he was going to plow the South 40. The tractor needed oil, so he went to the shop to get some. On the way, he noticed the pigs weren't fed, so he proceeded to the corn crib. The feed sacks in the corn crib reminded him that his potatoes were sprouting. On the way to the potato pit, he passed the wood pile, remembered that his wife wanted firewood. By the time he had picked up a few sticks, an ailing chicken passed by. He dropped the wood, reached for the chicken. When evening arrived, the frustrated farmer had not even oiled the tractor, let alone plowed the field. There are some people who are frantically disorganized. Then, of course, there are those who are very, very carefully organized and structured. There are some people who become neurotic if they miss one turn in a revolving door. Their life is so energized, and all of us, I think, have within ourselves that kind of anxiety complex. I don't know if you do this, but I do frequently. You're standing at an elevator, you notice that the button has been pushed because it is lit, and yet you go and you push it anyway. There's something within you that says things need to be speeded up, and we live in this revved up society. And the problem is, there are some people who are climbing that ladder of success. They are highly organized, but doing essentially things that will not last for eternity, and consequently climbing that ladder only to discover someday that it has been leaning against the wrong wall. What I'd like to do today is to give you 3 commands about time. 3 commands about time. Would you take your Bibles and turn, please, to Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5, where the Apostle Paul links the right use of time with spirituality. And I might say today, if you are a time waster, you have a spiritual problem, because it is God who has given us the time to live upon the earth. In verse 15, walk circumspectly. Chapter 5, verse 15. Walk circumspectly, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. The reason I like the King James is because, number one, I like the word circumspectly. And number two, because it says, redeem the time, and that is the first command that I want to give you today, and I want you to know that that is exactly the Greek word that is used. It is the word redemption. My translation says, make most of your time. Well, of course, if you redeem the time, you do make the most of it, but I like the word redeem. Agorazo has to do with buying something. Ex agorazo means to buy it out of the marketplace. to take something home with you, to purchase something. Redeem the time, because the days are evil. Time must be seized. It must be bought out of that 24-hour period.
Well, my friend, today, this is Pastor Lutzer, and I want you to know that this message is just as much for me as it might be for you. As I look back over my life, there is so much wasted time. I'm not talking just about time that could be thought of as profitable, where you're playing tennis or doing some exercises, which may be very, very good to do. I'm talking about time wasted watching television. I'm speaking about time that is wasted in a car. And in this series of messages, you're going to be given help. We are all going to be given help as to make the most use of our time. Would you please stay tuned for next time?
Thank you, Dr. Lutzer. Erwin Lutzer has begun a 4-part series on the joy of generosity, a study in the stewardship of our time, talents, resources, and affections. Today he spoke on Christ, the Lord of our time, and on tomorrow's Running to Win, we'll pick up right here. Using our time wisely means listening to great teaching while on the go. This entire series can be yours on CD as our thank you when you give a gift of any amount to Running to Win. For all the details, call us at 1-800-215-5001. That's 1-800-215-5001. Or go to offerrtw.com on the Internet. Finally, you can write to Running to Win, Box 11174, Chicago, Illinois, 60611. This is Dave McAllister. Invest some time tomorrow for our next edition of Running to Win.